Hello, lovers of whiskey and watchers of YouTube. I am the Malt activist, and it's good to be back.
I'll be back.
Let's just say I needed a few days off just to, recharge my brain, recharge my emotional self after the roller coaster ride that was the Diageo Classic Release 2020. I'm just glad we were able to end on a high note. That Talisker 8 is a good whiskey, and I'm happy. I'm happy that we ended with that. However, but that was a lot of whiskey, and that was a lot of reviews, and that was like a lot that, got taken out of me. So I said, you know what, I'm going to chill back, relax for a few days and not even think about whiskey. I mean, I'll drink it, but I won't think about it. So with that said, I am happy to be back reporting live all the way from the Malt Activist cellar. All right. And what I have with you today is, I think it's pretty special. And I'll tell you why. Okay, before I tell you why, I'll just tell you what it is. Well, you already know. You've read it in the title. I don't know why I make a big thing about, and guess what? When I put it in the title anyway. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Alberta Premium CaskStrength Rye Whiskey. Woohoo! I know, you're thinking, you're like, hey, he's never mentioned Alberta distilleries before. Why is he suddenly so interested in this Alberta CaskStrength Rye Whiskey? Suddenly it's like, what a special whiskey that I've got for you. Why the sudden interest? Well, I'll tell you why, and I think you already know why. So here's the deal, right? I'm not the kind of guy that gets swayed by other people's opinions. I have far too strong opinions of my own, let alone me having to deal with other people's opinions. So, having said that, I will admit that earlier on in my career as a whiskey drinker, I used a certain, how shall I say it, Bible as a guide to buy my earlier whiskeys. And I'll be honest, man, there were some good whiskeys. Anything that was, 80 something above, I genuinely tended to like, which made me think, okay, I guess our palates are similar. And I like what he likes. And so I kind of started using that as a guide until, a few years ago, there started to be a number of selections in the very, very high 90s, and which everyone, including me, sort of had raised eyebrows, and we were like, why? What's going on? Does anyone know what's going on? So, and again, no conjecture, and I that's not why I'm here. Anyway, so as it turns out, I'm just a curious guy, just very, very curious, okay? And so when I found out that Jim Murray, that's who we've been talking about all this time, in case you were wondering, Jim Murray basically said this was his #1 whiskey of the year. And I was like, what? Are you serious? Now, I'm not surprised that he selected a high-strength rye whiskey, because he seems to like those flavors, as do I. I was surprised that it's actually come out of Alberta. So interesting. And luckily, I was able to get my hands on it. This is, the moment news like that goes out, people go crazy, and then they just go and they take it off the shelf, and they don't leave any for us people. When I say us people, I mean people living far away. So I had to pull a few strings, get someone in Calgary to buy this for me, have it sent to Vancouver, and then have it brought down to my place. And so this baby's seen some air miles, man. Quite a lot of air miles. Okay, so what do we know? We know that this is made at the Alberta distillery. This is Alberta Premium CaskStrength Rye. The mash bill is 100% rye grain. And guys, it's bottled, oh my god, at 66%. I love that. Nice deep gold bronzy color, which I like. Very natural, no chill filtered. Whoa. Big nose. Lots of alcohol, right? but you have to get past it. Chocolate, vanilla, maple syrup. Yeah, lots of honeys, different types of honeys. Dark honeys and light honeys together. Brownies, very chocolatey. Everything's very chocolatey about this. And then the spices. Whoa. Woody, oaky spices. Some cardamom, nutmeg. Maybe not so much cardamom, more nutmeg. More 5-spice. Not so much an aromatic woody spice, but more of like an earthy woody spice. Quite sweet actually. The vanillas come back again as if they're like fighting to get back on top. Wow. So here's the deal, man. There are some people who like certain tastes. I have a very close friend of mine, very much into whiskeys and loves his Scotch and other types of whiskeys. Absolutely hates bourbons or rye whiskeys, just can't stand them. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with his palate. It just means that's his palate, right? But as far as I'm concerned, I really like bourbons and rye whiskeys, and the higher the strength, like my favorites are the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, everything over 66, 67%, 65%, whatever. And so I like that. I like that flavor profile. So here's the caveat, man. Don't take my word for it. If I say this is a great whiskey, it's only because I like it. Because I'm pretty sure that this whiskey is not for everyone. You know, I've taken a few swigs from it before this video started, so I know what it tastes like. I know exactly what to expect, and I know for a fact that there's a few people out there who will drink this and gag and be like, dude, why are you torturing me? And to that I say, it's absolutely fine. You know, I understand. So again, don't take my word for it. I don't think this is everyone's whiskey, but it's certainly mine. Woo! I like the nose. Chin chin. Mm-hmm. 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 So this hurts a little bit, but it's a very enjoyable kind of hurt. So if you're into, you know, S&M and BDSM, this is right down your alley. It hurts, but for whatever reason, it releases these endorphins and they give you pleasure also. So I don't know how this works. I'm not into any of that shit. I'm just saying in case you are. And I'm sure there's a number of you out there watching this video. But we digress. So, quite savory on the palate, very oily, extremely oily, but with a strong oaky aftertaste, nice and warming. The honeys come through quite nicely, but it's a spice fest on the palate for sure. Again, you know, I wouldn't make this my whiskey of the year, even though I really like it. There's, I think, a few obvious flaws in terms of its balance. I would have liked it to be sweeter on the palate. You know, I would have liked the darker chocolate on the nose to translate into a more of a milk chocolate. Second sips are always palatable because your tongue is absolutely numb. So, at first try, I really like it. It's a good whiskey. I know they have, I think a 40% or a 43% Alberta Premium, which is just a regular spirit, which I've not tried, but apparently it's just okay. And so they released this CaskStrength version. Oh, did I tell you I just put some water in it? Should have done it for the camera, but I just did. I just put a few drops of water in it. It's become more sweeter, more floral on the nose with the water. More, yeah. So now since the alcohol burn's gone, It's more of a classic rye whiskey nose that you'd expect. And I think I probably brought it down to like its mid-50s, sort of. Yeah, slightly sweeter on the palate with water. Not as oaky on the finish. Definitely as oily as it was before. Still a very mighty fine whiskey. Is it, I mean, does it deserve to be whiskey of the year? No, man, I don't think so. Is it still a very good whiskey? Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, I mean, if you can get your hands on it, sure, and satisfy your curiosity like I did, definitely do that. But if you're not a big fan of this flavor profile, just don't even go there, because I know for a fact, if you don't like high strength North American whiskeys like bourbons and ryes, then you're not going to like this, because it's very much in that mold. I've had much better rye whiskeys than this at high strength. I've had much better bourbons also at high strength. So this kind of settles somewhere in the middle. You know, it's not horrible. It's not absolutely out of this world fantastic as well, but it's a very, very, very decent offering. So I'll give it a B. Yeah, I'll give it a B, like a solid B. Bordering on B plus? No, just like a B, a solid B. And I think that's not bad. And I think that's good for a whiskey. It's not that expensive either, and maybe, I don't know, maybe like a 60 pounds if you can get it, which is what I paid for it. So it's not so bad. It is high strength. It is cask strength at 66%. So there's that, you know, there's 50% saving right there. So yeah, there you have it, man. There you have it. Alberta Premium from Alberta Distilleries. This is the cask strength rye whiskey bottled at 66%. Wow, and it's an even 66% cask strength. Huh? Interesting. There might have been some cask manipulation here and there to get it down to an even number. Maybe, I don't know. Who cares? Good whiskey. If you can find it, buy it. Don't take my word for it on the taste. Before you buy it, see if you can try it at a friend's or someone. I don't know if you can, and then pick it up. Because if you're not into this kind of whiskey, then you're definitely not gonna like it. But I really like it, and like I said, very, very decent offering from Alberta. Getting sweeter, more leather, tobacco, nice. Does it deserve to be whiskey of the year? Maybe in some people's books. Certainly not mine. But happy to drink this from time to time. So thank you. There you have it. Thank you for joining me for this whiskey review. I'm the Malt Activist. Until next time, peace.